sure.
Yeah, go for it. Come on, about there, 10 paces.
What an act to follow. It's not fair, I should have been first. It's a long time since I spoke at a wedding. It's actually 57 years ago. It was at a time when brides didn't make speeches. They sat fairly smugly and demurely smiling.
I remember it well.
Just enjoying the accolades and the flattery that the men would put up for us. However, I had a very bossy father. And there was a lapse in the proceedings, so he demanded that I get up and speak. I'd never spoken in public at all because the cake was late coming.
You were the fill-in.
And I was the filler-upper. So I was seriously peeved, actually, and that's all I remember. And being a traditional Methodist wedding, there was no alcohol.
Unlike today.
No, not much courage in orange cordial. However, alcohol, the lack of, is not a problem today. But I have not had very much because I've been terrified of standing here.
You've got a lot to make up for.
Look out later.
It's been an honour and a privilege to speak for our family. We are a small twig on a family tree. There's not many of us, but we're all here today, and just so happy to have them around us with John's brother Bruce, his wife Michelle, his nephews and nieces, I hope I remember them, William, James, Isabel and Bridget. So this is the Curnow family, and now we've got an extra one. So that's just lovely, okay? So we are incredibly proud of John for the man he has become and his creative success. He's funny.
Thinks he's funny.
Alas, he can be tetchy. But he is of warm heart. And he looks after his friends. Now that's very apparent today because we've got, oh dear, I wasn't going to do this. We've got Raoul and Kerry, but Raoul is his oldest friend. He's of 45 years standing. Now that is an enduring friendship. They've both taken different pathways, but they're as strong and as silly together as they were when they were in grade 5. And from Mildura we've got, they're just boyhood friends. We've got Peter and Dale. Then the friends come along from tertiary education, and there's lots of people I used to know, and I've really enjoyed re-meeting you. There's tertiary, and then there's advertising, there's holidays, there's golf. Eh? I said tertiary.
That means uni.
I just wanted to keep this pretty short. Tertiary is a big word. All right. Now, I wasn't going to read this, but you've got me a bit bamboozled now. Now, John keeps his friends. The evidence is it's here, isn't it? But he doesn't suffer fools gladly. So I would suggest you all give yourselves a clap because you've been invited. Now, JC, who would like to be obeyed, told me I have to be funny today. And it's quite a challenge, actually. I know some of you are hanging out for some John stories.
Yes, please.
I gave out a lot of John stories a couple of nights ago, and I was in my cups, and some of them overflowed, I'm afraid. However, this is my mother's story. When John was 2.5, my parents took, and it was before Bruce was born, I was probably heavily pregnant and miserable. So my parents took John for a little holiday to Port Fairy. Nothing to do with fairy, was it? No. So anyway, they took him to a cafe for a meal, and he sat up and he picked up the menu upside down, perused it, and announced that he would have a portergaff, please.
I don't think they know what a portergaff is.
A portergaff is half beer and half stout. Now, for a 2.5-year-old, I thought his vocabulary was incredible. Maybe he would be a professor of English or something like that. But whatever path he took for a profession, I always just wanted him to have something he really was passionate about and enjoyed. And that's what happened. He really was a great photographer. The evidence is all around, hanging on a lot of our walls, and he was very good, and he did love the work. Now, excuse me. Okay. And then there's Carinne. The little bird flew into our lives. She was full of friendly warmth and love. And we love her very, very much. And she offered John just unconditional love and support. And you know, parents just want their kids to be happy. And if they're not happy, we're not. So let it be known I am ecstatic today. Now, I've pondered on what good fortune, how did we get to have Carinne in our family? I wondered if it was travel guides floating through the internet, or whether it was just bloody good luck. However, I am delighted to propose a toast to Mr. S. John Curnow and the very new Mrs. C. Curnow, wishing you every happiness from this day forward. Would you raise your glasses to Carinne and John?